Hello everyone and welcome to Otaku Talk. I'm your host OD, and today we'll be reviewing chapter 309 of My Hero Academia. So I'm just going to let the credits roll and whatnot because I just want to get right into this episode. So, in my opinion, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm really weird when it comes to like manga and anime, where like I am, like a action whore, and I do like, fights, and I do like power-ups and all that. But at its core, at the end of the day, the story is what I love the most. Like, yeah, I read stuff like, Solo Leveling and like, a whole handful of other media that necessarily the story isn't that great. What you're watching it for is the artwork, the action, what I like to call action porn. What I call action porn is where, a series has really cool character designs and abilities and fights, and you just really love watching people fight. You don't really necessarily need a good plot or story. It just has to be passable and decent enough for to get to the next fight. No shots fired, but I kind of feel like this is kind of how Dragon Ball has devolved. I personally have always been a huge fan of Dragon Ball, not Z, Dragon Ball, because as I've always told my friends, I always considered Dragon Ball to be plot-driven action. But then around Dragon Ball Z, it became action-driven plot, and I wasn't a fan of that. So I love chapters like this where it's exposition. We're learning more about the story. We're learning more about behind what's going on with the main character, what their thoughts are, what's going on in the universe. And so let's get into it. So we start off with, by the way, all right, I swear after this, I'll get right into the review. This dude right here, tell me you don't get heavy One Punch Man vibes. I don't know why, but like this dude looks like he's in the wrong universe. He looks like he accidentally stepped out of One Punch Man and into My Hero Academia. I don't know why, if it's just how he's drawn, but yeah, like I just got heavy One Punch Man vibes. Anyway, moving on. I had to get back on track. So I like how the female hero we see is saying that she recognizes Deku. She doesn't know that it's Deku, but she's like, he kind of gives me the vibe of the dude I met during the hero certification exams, right? And I like that because it's just a way for us to see that like Deku's matured a bit, and which is weird because Deku has never been immature, but he hasn't like, he hasn't been grown. He's still been kind of childish and like, kind of happy-go-lucky, and it's weird to say he hasn't been immature, but he hasn't been like an adult, right? And we see this new appearance of him. And by the way, still hate his costume, but I can't even front with the way it's tattered, with the way the mangaka's drawing the eyes through the eye slots. It goes a little hard. I'll give it to you. I'm 1,001% sure that's not his final costume. This is his, rookie year costume or whatever. So I do think we'll get, a better suit and whatnot. But as of right now, it's not the worst thing in the world. I don't love it, but, I don't hate it as much as I used to. But I love how we are seeing a more resolved, steeled Deku. He had a lot of reservations about a lot of this and that, and I was worried about Deku being able to hurt people, but like I don't know, there's just a look to him that says I'm ready to handle what needs to be handled within reason. I still do get that vibe from him that when the chips come down, I'm not sure if he'll be able to kill. Maybe the moral of the story is being a hero isn't about killing people. Spider-Man, for example, didn't really kill people. A lot of the heroes we grew up with don't really kill people. And that's what makes him so great because, for example, people underestimate how weak, how it's not weak, how strong Spider-Man is, and then you have people like Superman who are constantly holding back their strength because if they wanted to, they could end every situation in a matter of seconds. But there would be consequences to doing this, and part of being a hero isn't taking the easy way out. The easy way out is just oh, you're evil, kill you, cool. There's less evil in the world. I hate that expression that I think Batman said it, where killing a villain still leaves the same number of villains in the world. Because that's stupid. Everyone with common sense knows that you kill enough villains, there's way less villains in the world. Like, even if you become a criminal de facto, like, you killed 20 criminals and you created a new criminal, so that's 20 to 1 odds. I like that. And then if you're a really good hero, you've killed 50, 100. Now, this isn't me condoning killing villains. I'm just saying that logic is stupid. Anyway, moving on. I really do like where Deku is at this point. And what's happening. We see after he drops off Muscular at the police station, he has to meet up with All Might. This scene really confused me. I think it was just to show that, like, hey, All Might and Deku are doing this kind of cloak and dagger thing where he's chaperoning him, where the agreement is Deku's only allowed to, like, do superhero work at the behest and monetarization of not monetarization, like he's just basically that All Might is monitoring Deku. That's the deal, that Deku can do superhero stuff as long as All Might monitors him. But that kind of seems stupid to me because he doesn't even have any powers anymore. If shit hits the fan, what's he going to do? So I don't really see the point of that. Also, it was only for 2 seconds. Like, Deku heard danger and left within, like, so, like, I don't really understand the point of the scene other than to showcase that they're working together. So that was really interesting. Also, I do like how it looks like, how like heroes have a superhero landing. It looks like even though Deku has improved, he still has a way to go. I think that the visualization of him landing and it taking him like doof 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 like 3 different like times to like actually stop himself shows that he doesn't have like the full complete control and mastery of his power in his body yet, because he can't stop on a dime. He can't do that superhero landing. So I think that was to showcase a little bit of that. The next series of events was really funny. I really enjoyed these set of chapters. First of all, can we talk about the shade of the mangaka? Honestly, it was so funny and so random that I almost didn't think it was the mangaka. I thought it was maybe just the translator. But it said something along the lines of, the nurse that can heal everyone, how she healed everyone with the exception of Deku. And I have to find the exact phrase. Give me 1 second. I'll edit this out in the video. But it cracked me up. Basically, where they said, it says something along the lines of Deku was reunited with his one true love, the hospital bed. And I cannot tell you, I fell out. That was the biggest piece of shade, bro. Biggest piece of shade. I was like, bro, I was cracking up, which honestly, I get it, man. He really has, like, from the start of the series, every single major fight, before it was simple fights, but like as his power increased, his the threats he had to face also increased, and every single time my boy ended up in the hospital for days or weeks on end. So I can't even be mad at the shots fired. It just caught me out of nowhere and was super funny. So we're in the hospital and we get some exposition from his doctor, who is some weird looking Dr. Mario looking motherfucker. I shit you not. This guy right here, let me post it up. looks smooth like Dr. Mario. And obviously this is not a coincidence. The mangaka definitely did that. I believe there's another hero in the series. I forget if it's this series or One Punch Man. That I think it's My Hero though, that was supposed to look like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I think they made him into a frog or something. But that was super interesting. So this isn't the first time, by the way, this has happened. It's not the first time. I swear there's been other characters in this series that look akin to other real world heroes or existing characters. So we find out basically that Deku's body is changing. Like I said earlier, along with how his mental fortification is more resolved and it's more steeled, it seems like the same is happening to his body. And we don't know if that's due to well, obviously it's due for One for All, but we don't know what other extenuating circumstances there are behind that. But hopefully what this means to me, hopefully, is that he is getting stronger. He is becoming more physically apt and able to handle the burdens that come with One for All, and that we will be seeing a way stronger Deku sometime soon. Maybe you guys can help me out with this part, because I was really confused here and I kind of didn't know like what to really gauge. But there's a clip here. I'll put it up. And it says 5% and then 45%, showing the more modern day Deku. And I wasn't sure that was a flashback to when he used 5% and when he used 45%, or is it the mangaka showcasing that back then he could only his body was only able to handle 5% of One for All, and now currently he's at, or not able to handle 5% of One for All. That's not what I mean. More about his body was about at 5% of its potential, right? That 5% of his potential, and now he's currently at 45% of his potential. So he's less than halfway to his max potential. So I'm not sure quite what it was saying. Was it showcasing or referencing back when he used One for All 5%, One for All 45%, or is it saying that his physical body is at 45% capacity, 45% potential, can optimally use 45% of One for All? Maybe that's the full calling. So please help me out with that. Like I said, this channel isn't meant for me to be some kind of anime manga guru. Pretty much I'm an otaku. I'm a huge anime fan, and I just want to talk about this thing that I love with others and get more exposition about it and just, build a community and live in that world. So if you guys think you know something better than me, please let me know, because I was really interested and confused in that scene. So anyway, I think it's really smart that he's not going to UA. I forget if I mentioned it in a previous video, but it makes nothing but sense. We have seen UA be broken into several, at least once, I feel like twice, and then there was the situation when they were training and they were found. So basically, it goes to show that UA can't protect shit. Like they really can't. If the villains want to show up and mess with the students, they're gonna show up and mess with the students. And now that Deku has a huge target painted on his back, they know where to find him. They know where to go. So it's not smart for him to be there, because he basically endangers the lives of all the students there and the people he's friends with and love. So I totally get that. And from what it seems like, they have the conversation with his mom, who, by the way, I love the flashbacks of her, because his mom was a little baddie when she was young. I don't know if it's just stress that made her a little bit chubbier now, or maybe, that's just the natural circle of life. You get older and, you lose your figure. But, his mom had it going on back in the day. But anyway, moving on. She's asking All Might about what his powers are, and pretty much All Might, it seems, explains the entire history of it, which was really sad. It was really sad, because there's a panel and it shows her just loving the mess out of a young Deku, and then there's another panel where it shows an older Deku loving the mess out of her. And it's crazy because of their relationship, because for as long as he's been a kid, he's wanted to be a hero, and his mom has always ride or die, been there for him, supported him, got him all the All Might attire and paraphernalia, memorabilia that he could ever want. And she supported him and always was like, you could be a hero. And whether or not she believed that or not, or was just saying it as a mother, she genuinely, gave all, her all and heart into it. But now, something that was just, a concept, a theory, is now actually coming to life. And you see Deku, this young, happy-go-lucky kid, scarred beyond repair. Like, yeah, he's ripped and jacked and stuff, which, by the way, is super cool. But, like, there's a story to his struggle. Like, his power didn't come easy. His power didn't come free. He's had to fight for every inch of everything he's gotten, and it's really, really shown in his physique. I can't imagine being a mother and watching my son every day potentially go out. Like, it's the equivalent to being like a military mom, or being the mother of like an officer or something like that. Someone who frequently puts their life at risk every day, and then and every time you see them, they have a new wound, a new injury. You get a call that they're in the hospital. Like that, I don't wish that on anyone, and I can totally like empathize with her. So it appears, from what I understand, that Deku is not Deku. All Might has decided, hey, I'm going to look after your son. I made you a promise a while ago that like I would look after him, and that's what I intend to do. And so I don't know if he's living, because I would assume he doesn't want to live with his mom either, because that puts his mom at risk. So I'm assuming he's living with All Might, maybe receiving more training from All Might and learning more from All Might, running missions and ops through All Might. And, he has the phone now to keep in contact with him. So that's really interesting. I wonder how that, I want to learn more about that. If he is living with All Might, I think it's super cool. Like, can you imagine being let's say a basketball player, right? And you get adopted or taken in by like Michael Jordan. Like every day, like you are like the dude you idolized. Not only like he's coming up, he's come up in the world. Not only did he get his powers, but now he gets to firsthand experience, live the life of All Might. And I think that's hilarious. I read a comment on the page where I got the manga from, the chapter 309 of My Hero, and someone was like, I can just imagine Deku now. All Might took a shit 3 times today, every time 3 hours apart. Is this the secret for One for All? Like, I died laughing, because honestly, that is something Deku would do. Just every single thing. All Might eats breakfast precisely at 9 a.m. every single day. Is this the secret for One for All? Is this what I like? It's really funny. I can definitely see this being something Deku does. He's a hardworking kid, and you can't do nothing but respect that. We're at the end of the chapter. He has the conversation with Gran Torino. It seems to me you can infer that he passed the message on to Gran Torino from his former protege, because he was like crying from the afterlife. So Deku probably told him how she's doing, what's going on inside him. It seems like he's just being. It seems at a point where the secrecy is out the window, at least for the people that matter. And he's just open and honest with everything going on with him, because maybe this knowledge will help people more than hiding this knowledge. And so it's good to see that he's not dead. I was concerned. I said in another review that I think he was dead. That's why he had the scarf. But it looks like, nah, he's just said, I'm retiring. Here's my scarf. I'm out. I'm too old for this shit. and that's the extent of it. And you honestly can't blame him. So I'm glad to see that he's alive. He's not dead, and he's still kicking. And then finally, it just seems like Hawk's Best Jeanist and Endeavor are executing a plan to go after All for One, and All Might is going with them. I once again do not understand the point of that. It's not like he can even go One for All like for a couple seconds anymore. Like, he literally cannot do anything. So I just feel like it's stupid to continually risk All Might's life. He's not the hero he was, and it's stupid to treat him that way. I do think his knowledge is admirable and and beneficial. I think that this is kind of like Batman Beyond, where you have Terry McGinnis, who's the new Batman, and you have Bruce Wayne in his ear, but Bruce Wayne ain't coming out in the field with him. Now that being said, I do think that there was a chapter or two where like Bruce Wayne like wore the the Batman Iron Man suit or whatever and came and helped Terry McGinnis out. But like that's not his role. He shouldn't be out on the front lines anymore. He can't handle that. I don't want to see him there. So yeah, I don't know what they're doing. It looks like they're tracking down the Legion of Villains and in loot and therefore also All for One. That's pretty much all my thoughts on this chapter. Sorry if it wasn't really anything deep. The only thing I do want to finish this video out on is the fact that there is an elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room does seem to be that there has been significant progress in the story. In the last, I want to say 3 chapters, the pacing of the story, in my opinion, has tripled, like quadrupled. It just seems like it's clearly the manga is clearly trying to ramp up to an end. It's clearly trying to get to its climax. I thought we were gonna have at least a whole another year of him training at UA, a whole another year of the what was that, the festival where they got to do the competition. I thought we were going to get to see the big 3, and the big 3 was going to be Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto, but it doesn't look like we're going to get any of that, which is fine. That was predictable. The fact that I thought we were going to get all that stuff and that we're not, gives props to the mangaka that, he's not going for predictability of this series, but it looks like we're just going from the end game was always defeating All for One, and it looks like we're just hyper focusing, zeroing in on that. I thought that we were going to see the quirks released, one after another, maybe, kind of Deus Ex Machina-ish, where, during a battle, he discovers a new ability, and then after discovering that ability, he has to work a while on mastering that ability. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's happening at all. It looks like he knows all his abilities. Looks like he's been trained with all his abilities. He has all the, I thought we were going to get the secrets of One for All slowly trickle down, but no, like pretty much everything we know about One for All is on the table. So yeah, I don't foresee this series having more than like 2 years left, the way it's ramping down. Really sad about that. I did think that, My Hero was going to be that next generation of like Naruto and like, One Piece and Bleach, like the Holy Shonen Trinity. Like I thought that it was going to be the Naruto of that. And the reason I say the Naruto of that, not the Bleach, is while it's a good story, it's a good, solid, sound story, likable main character, but it ain't that deep. It ain't One Piece. A lot of people are going to feel some type of way about that statement, but I really do think One Piece is on a whole new level, a whole nother level than other shonen. And I will argue with that. I will continue to release videos to that point, to that credit. But it does make me sad that it does, the days are numbered for My Hero, and that, the releases are finite. But, at the end of the day, if the story has a solid ending and finish, who can hate on that? I still, maybe I'm over exaggerating. Maybe it's not over soon. Maybe the mangaka just wants to get to a point in time where, he's tired of, after every single fight, Deku's almost dead. Maybe he wants to start bringing him into his, bronze era. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Wow. This has been Otaku Talk. I'm your host, OD. Have a great day. Take care.